Well, hello, everybody. I hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday. We are still working on the back of the phone list card, and we're working on symptoms leading to relapse. We're discussing them. And we are on number 4. And tonight's is argumentativeness. Arguing small and ridiculous points of view indicates a need to always be right. Why don't you be reasonable and agree with me? Looking for an excuse to gamble. I've done that before. I actually just talked about it in group last night. How I used to pick fights with Dave so that I would have an excuse to go gamble. It could be arguing with anybody just to say, oh, I had a bad day. Let me go to the casino. Let me go place a bet. I like how this identifies these things that are symptoms. It blows my mind sometimes to see, and I don't know if you've seen this, but arguing small and ridiculous points of view. How about that on social media? Does that mean everybody's going to go gamble? But there's a lot of that. And it's been kind of an interesting year with how I respond to people. And it's very deliberate, and it's for this reason. And I never thought of it this way. But there's times that, you want to be right. I wanted to be right about a few things. And there's been a couple people that I've handled as simply as, and it wasn't simple to handle in this way, but instead of having to be right, I politely left the conversation. Or if it was someone that I, felt strongly about, whether it was family or whoever, ending the conversation in I love you. Like I deliberately ended the conversation like with my brother. Okay. And I love you. And I feel passionate about that because I feel like there's people that I may never speak to again. And the last thing I want to say to them is I love you. So, so instead of engaging in all that, I write usually a message or say whatever, not that last word or trying to get that last word in to so-called win, but I usually bow out gracefully and end it with, I love you or something as kind as I can possibly do. And I won't tell you that that's easy. And I don't even know that I was aware to even try to do it until maybe the last, like I said, 6 months, maybe a year. And it happens. So I'm a people person. So I'm around a lot of people and I'm in a lot of groups. And, I try to really be easygoing and open-minded on here. But there's things that I have my opinion on, maybe some things more stronger than others. However, and this is, I think, what's made me a lot more pleasant the last couple of years is it's not important enough for me to fight about that stuff. Like, I just believe that everybody has the right to their opinion. If people want to be vocal and excited about it, I'll definitely tell you, because I know I've said this, maybe not to you, but I've said it in situations like our group room is one place, for example. Sometimes there gets to be a hot topic, and sometimes I create hot topics without even trying. And, there's both sides of the story, and you could tell everybody that is trying to calm down, the person. Like, it's usually a majority feels the same way and they try to calm down the minority. And I'm saying this as a blanket statement. And there's been a couple instances where certain people leave the conversation and they may write to me privately, but they're not fueling the fire. And I always try to tell them, good job. I'm proud of you. It was more of a recovery action to, step away and not have to be right. To me, that shows personal growth, because I know my ego. I know I've been married. I like to be right too, but it's just not so important anymore. As long as I'm comfortable with me and what I believe in, what I do, it doesn't matter if anybody else does. And I feel that as a gambler, I feel that because, not everybody understands it from a people who don't gamble perspective. And then there's the gamblers who probably think I'm crazy too, because I'm public about it. Who am I going to please in those situations? Not everybody. As long as I don't make someone who doesn't want to be public about it public, like I can respect their point of view. I was just connecting with some other podcasters, and I found one, and like the first, their whole description is everything the opposite of what I tell you I've been exposed to. It says that addiction is not a disease, and you can eventually do XYZ normal again, and it doesn't necessarily agree with the 12 steps. So I had two options at that point. I guess I had three. One, I can argue with them that they're wrong, and write them a note, against them, so to speak. I could not acknowledge their existence because it doesn't line up with what I've shared on the show in the past, or I can reach out to them and see if I can get them here for you so that we can understand their perspective. Because my goal is to help as many gamblers who want to quit. It's not my goal is to get as many gamblers that want to quit exactly the way I quit, So if they have some sort of nugget that works for someone, maybe it's someone who doesn't want to deal with higher power or groups or whatever, there might be something different. Another one I found, which I've had on my brain since October when I met the lady. I was at a recovery conference, and she was launching a podcast that week about Buddha recovery. And I bought the book, and I haven't read it yet, which is why I hadn't reached out to them yet. But I did just send her a note too. I want to get all this stuff in front of us. We're all different, so we're going to all have different paths. So that was exciting. So it doesn't pay to be argumentative. Like, I'm not going to learn anything from any of these people if I was picking a fight with them or discounting their opinion and just scrolling right by. I want to learn more. I mean, how exciting is this? That there's things outside of what I know. And I think I got a little bit of that when Bernie he had explained, I don't know if it was smart recovery, but he had explained one of the things that he had been to. I didn't know that, and I still want to do some more deep diving. But that's what I believe in. I hope you guys are open to it, whatever sticks for you so that you can have an amazing life. That's it. I want you to call yourself so-and-so the awesome too, because everything is awesome. Okay. Mission accomplished. I am now going to go to a step meeting with Justin. We'll see what kind of fun stuff I learn. I was going to wait until after the show to talk to you, but I don't know that I'll be awake. I think I have to go biking in the morning. So this made better sense. So I'll share whatever good stuff he gives me tonight with you guys. He's working on step 5, so that aligns with where we've been recently. All right. Have a good night, beautiful people.